Hi there! In this video we are going to see how rental enhancement logic works with multiple rental lines together with multiple shipments at different dates, multiple invoice periods, as well as credit memo generation in the case of early rental returns. I have already set up my rental order, so here is it. The customer is Kellington Construction, and here you have your rental lines. For each rental line, in case rental terms are different, you set up your rental terms by clicking the Rental Info tab. So in this case, we have set up our rental terms from March 17 up to May 11. And we have set up our bill code, monthly bill code for 28 days. And of course, we have set up the corresponding rental rate, which is defaulted from the corresponding stock items screen. Here is another line with different rental term, starting April 14, going all the way through up until June 8th. The bill code is the same, and of course we have here again two periods per 28 days. To be able to ship our rental items at various dates, we need to set up each shipment date on the line under the requested on field. Here you have like the first batch, which we are planning to ship on March 17, and then we have another batch coming on 21 March, and then another 2 ones right below here. You can also see here the quantity and also the, of course, starting billing date and end billing date. So once your rental order is ready, we will proceed with creating the first shipment by clicking Create Shipment action. We set the correct shipment date, which was March 17. Okay. So here is the shipment. We confirm it. So once the shipment is completed, we go back to our rental sales order to proceed with the second batch of shipment. Again, by clicking Create Shipment. And it is important here to note that in this case, the rental order is set up so as not to calculate any taxes. So all the lines are exempt from taxes so that you can see pure rental term calculation without any additional calculations. So we proceed with the second batch, which was scheduled for shipment on March 21. Here you go. Okay. Now here is your shipment for 2 lines. We confirm it, and the rental lines that have been already shipment can be invoiced, which we are going to do. Let's go back to our rental sales order. On the rental sales order form header, you have create rental invoices action, clicking on which you can create your rental invoices. Now we will be redirected to the create rental invoices screen, and let us duplicate this so that we have the rental sales order always at our site. So If I open the rental info tab, we will see that the first period was scheduled for, starting March 17 and going all the way to April 13. So, and our next shipment basically was scheduled a little bit later. Let's see it. I think this one is scheduled for, yeah, for the first period will end on April 17th. So to catch these two batches for invoicing, we set up the buy date on the create rental invoices to April 17. Here you go. And you invoke the apply filter, and here you go with your lines. Let's just quickly do it this way. So here you have all your lines. Let us check also on the rental terms for invoicing. So here you go from March 21 to April 17. This was the second batch. And now let's go back to the first line. And here you go from March 17 up until April 13. And here you have your X price for the line. You in this case, we will invoke the process selection to create invoices for all lines. But once you want to, generate an invoice for a single line, then you just click this select checkbox and click process. Now your invoice has been created, and of course, once it's created, the grid is cleared. We go to the invoices screen, and here you go with our first invoice for the lines with first and second batch. So here you go, here is the amount, and we have set up our rental items and our customer as well as rental rates to keep as close to the Excel file as possible. So here is the amount of the first rental invoice period, and here you have all your lines. It is important to know here that you can view rental term details by clicking this attachment note icon, and here you go with your order information and your shipment number and also your rental period, as you can see here, together with bill codes, quantity, and of course rental rate. And you have all this information for each line that you have on your invoice. To be able to proceed with the rest of the rental order, we need to first release this invoice, and once the invoice is released, we proceed to shipping the remaining two batches that we have left on our rental order. And here you go. Let us see here. Let's check the requested on date. Here you go. So we have as I said, 3 lines left with 2 shipment batches. The first one will be on April 13 and the second one will be on April 14. Now it's important to note, so once you haven't confirmed your first shipment, you will not be able to proceed to creating the next shipment. Yeah, April 13. Okay. And the last shipment. April 14. Okay, so in AcuRental enhancement, you can make partial invoice in the case of early rental returns. So in this case, once we have the 2 batches already so shipped, so we go to rental returns screen to create rental returns for the first 2 batches of our rental items with early return. We will set the early return to April 22. Specify here the order number, and all the lines that you have shipped, basically all the lines that you have on your rental order are populated here. So at this moment, we need to make the document of rental return only for the first 2 batches, which means we exclude, that is, we delete the last 3 lines. Here we go. Yes. And if you scroll on the line, you will see that the rental tracking is set to early. So as you remember, our last rental date, meaning also the return date, was scheduled for May 11, but in this case we make an early rental return. So once you make an early rental return and then generate invoices for this period, the program automatically will recalculate and exclude from invoicing the period of the early return. So let us now, first you need to release this the document. So once it's released, we will move to create rental invoices screen to invoice all the lines. Just we set it to May 11 process, and you have all your lines. Sorry. Yeah, and you have all your lines here. So if a line has been already invoiced for the first period, you will have the information displayed on the screen under the invoiced column. So as you can see here, this is the invoice information for our first batch, which we have already invoiced, and the last 3 lines which we have shipped, of course, have not yet been invoiced. Or also, it is important to note that here, for example, for the first line, for which we have made an early return, you can see that this invoice period has been recalculated. And in the same way, the billing period has been recalculated, and the X price for the second period with early return equals this amount. And so once you have done this, we can proceed with creating the next rental invoice.